blow, blow, blow. Keep going, 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 keep going. Stop.
When a person gets arrested for drunk driving, they have probably driven over 200 times drunk before their first arrest. So even on a first arrest, this isn't the first time they've engaged in that behavior. It's risky behavior, and it is a behavior. It's the way, it's a lifestyle. It's the way people live.
In January, the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Department created a task force dedicated to removing drunk drivers from the county's 158 miles of freeways. They arrest more drunk drivers than any other agency in the state.
He's going about 65 miles an hour, maybe. Just 55-mile-an-hour zone here. And now we're slowing down again. Fluctuating speeds, and there he is. Going from one side of the lane to the other throughout a curve. Hello, sir. I'm Deputy Mickelson, Milwaukee Sheriff. Is that your license you have for me there?
Last year in '07, we had a little over 900 total drunk driving related arrests. And once we started this task force, we had reached over that total by July 31st. We had about 923. The way we project this out, we will double what we did last year. We'll have anywhere between 1,700 and 1,800 arrests for drunk driving. It gets to be like shooting fish in a barrel.
All right, based on my observations, you've had too much to drink, and I'm not going to let you drive your car, okay? Stand right over here by my squad.
The average blood alcohol content of the arrests that we've made this year so far is 0.16. That's twice the legal limit. So we're not talking about somebody who goes out and has a couple of beers after a softball league game, or has goes out to dinner with friends, has a before dinner drink, and then maybe an after dinner drink. Those aren't the people that we're coming in contact with.
Wisconsin is the only state where driving drunk for the first time is not a crime. Also, it's one of 12 states that does not allow sobriety checkpoints.
You're not impaired?
No, I'm not.
Well, if you're not impaired, why would you be in handcuffs, sir?
People that think that they're just buzzed and they're okay to drive, chances are they're over the legal limit. Are you under the influence of alcohol at this time?
A little bit, I guess, like you say, but there's nothing wrong with me. I can walk and do anything. You just got me at a stupid left turn, and by this time, I hope you proud of yourselves. All the criminals that are out there running the streets. It's kind of funny. They pick on somebody who's worthless to be pulled over with. There are people out there who should be pulled over.
Sir, drunk drivers kill people every day.
Well, I'm not a drunk driver. I didn't kill nobody. I didn't do nothing.
Luckily, you only hit the cement parking bump and bounced off of it, okay? You only hit a cement parking bump and made a bad left-hand turn.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
Luckily, that's not a person or a child, okay?
Right.
Maybe an hour from now, it could have been a person or a child. You understand what I'm saying?
So, yeah.
Most alcohol-related crashes occur in I-94 between the Waukesha County line and the lakefront, and I-43 between Capitol Drive and Greenfield Avenue. The department calls this area Death Valley.
Between the hours of 8 p.m. on Friday and 3 a.m. on Sunday morning, if you're on a stretch between I-94 or on I-94 between the county line west and the lakefront and I-43 from Capitol Drive down to Greenfield, south on I-43, you have a high likelihood, you are at risk. If you're sober, you are at risk for being involved in a crash or being struck by a drunk driver. When you seriously injure or kill somebody, a mandatory minimum, you shouldn't get 6 months when you're facing 50. If the far end of the sentence is 50 years, you ought to get a minimum of 5 to 10. The legislature has not done anything about the fact that sobriety checkpoints are prohibited activity by law enforcement officers in the state of Wisconsin.
We're hoping that by making so many arrests that we get the public's attention. They can't continue to keep driving while under the influence, or they're going to be taken to jail. I might say 1 out of every 4 arrests is probably a repeat offender. They're out there and they keep driving, and hopefully through education and public awareness, you know, people give up their keys and not continue to drive.